Everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. I'm going through this Homelite 550. I'm going to probably butcher the name here, but Sione from southern part of the U.S. Sent me this, said that this would be used for storm cleanup in Louisiana after some of the hurricane damage that they've had, through there, which this is a perfect saw for that. This one's a little bit unusual, but let's do a quick test run first, and then I'll talk about what's slightly different about this one. This wasn't in terrible shape, all things considered. Intake boot and hoses and a starter rope, a spark plug that was proper. Think that is close to what I had to do. What's interesting, somebody had forced it wasn't even a CJ6, it was something that had an even thicker base. Had managed to worm it in here, and then they had soldered a bunch of crap on here to build up the contacts on the transformer so that it would sit further out. And I'm just like, is it that hard to get a tapered C plug from Napa? Anyway, please don't do that to your saw. Just get the right damn plug. So anyway, got that dealt with. And the intake boot and all that jazz. You've got to take a lot of the saw apart, but it's not that difficult once you get into it. So you got to get your starter off, obviously the carburetor, throttle handle assembly comes off, the bottom strap comes off, the handle, the tank. It all just kind of comes apart. And like I say, that sounds like a lot, but if you put your screws and your parts in one little pile, it goes quick just like that. So, say new hoses, that'll keep everything looking good and running good for quite some time. So note this air filter cover has a label on it, and it doesn't say Terry. Just keep that in mind. So let me see if I can be smart. Alright, that's probably about as good as we're going to get before I do something dumb. So this is a 1983 model. Even the E says that. The date's right there too. There is some French in here, so I'm thinking this was still built in Canada, but the Terry factory may have already been retired at that point. I don't know. You see you've got a dBA, a sound rating. Zoom back out. Some of you guys already know what's coming. This is a chain brake saw. Nothing super special about these in terms of the design. They're not very common, but everything just gets built into the drive case cover. You got your spring, your band, special screw for the adjuster here. I'm not sure why somebody put an O-ring on there. It's interesting. But anyway, and then they add pins at the back here. And I can't, those may exist on a regular 550. I don't work on enough of them to honestly remember. But there's nylon inserts back here. And then it goes together. We'll throw the bar nuts on and I'll show you that it actually works. I can't run the saw like this because the clutch cover screws would eat a hole right in the cover. Like so many saws, you don't want to run them without a bar. There it goes. That just locked onto the drum. You can see it locked in there. So anyway, this is something that you don't see come through this shop all that often. I do have one of these chain brake models in my collection. I think I have a standard and a chain brake. So anyway, pretty cool. Thought you guys might enjoy seeing that. Sione, again, if I'm mispronouncing your name, my apologies. Yeah, that is a bad habit of mine, but your saw appears to be in good shape. I'm going to let it sit for a couple days and do another cold start, make sure the carb tuning is right where it wants to be, and hopefully within a week or so we can get everything squared away and get this heading back your way.